All right, everyone, we should be live. Let's make sure that's actually the case. Over on Rumble, of course. We will play it. We will pause it. I do see the chat is moving, so it should be fine. By the way, the explosive device at the Uniondale rally with Trump appears to, thankfully, not be true. It appears that they looked into it and found that there was no actual explosive device. So where we don't have a third assassination attempt. Although, given the situation, if there was one, sadly, it wouldn't surprise me at all. Michelle Eden, will someone please page Sticks and tell him he's late? God, it was only 4 minutes after the hour. Delayed and homosexual, says Kev T. Yeah, we've got a lot of crazy shit to talk about. Peter Thiel is fundamentally correct, by the way. If the election is close, Kamala will win because they will cheat. Hezbollah hit by a wave of pager explosions. By the way, Israel cannot randomly blow up your pager, for the 2 people out there that actually still use pagers instead of cell phones. They were stuffed with explosive material, and apparently several civilians died, actually, and hundreds more were injured as a result of this attack. Well, Netanyahu did say that they would pay for that Hezbollah attack. Elon Musk and Elon Musk derangement syndrome, we'll talk about that. Aurora's violent gang problem didn't happen overnight. No shit. More than 1,000 members of Venezuelan gang are in U.S., and it's all part of the Biden-Harris border crisis. Opinion by Carol Markowicz. I happen to agree with this, by the way. There was a car bomb found at the rally. Can somebody DM me on Twitter? We may have breaking news that might preempt other news. Only if Twitter DMs actually start working. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Elon, you're trying to cock block me. Projectile pollen, and then, of course, drinking coffee being good for you. Yes, indeed. All right, let me see. In the last few minutes, just a second, everyone. We might have disclose. Just in, police find explosives in a car near Trump's rally site on Long Island. Why does this not surprise me in any way, shape, or form? It should surprise me. Normally, you'd think, yeah, this is a weird situation. These days, it's more like, they tried to kill him again. Nassau County confirming explosives recovered. Thank you, Uncle Sham. So it appears that there was a third potential assassination attempt on Donald Trump. This is, by the way, again, unfortunately unsurprising. Keep trying to kill this dude every single day. Are they trying to prevent him from going outside? Because he'll actually talk to people. Kamala Harris won't talk to anyone. She doesn't give a fuck. Barrels of expanding gas found near Trump rally. Apparently, this has been confirmed. Let me research really quickly. Trump rally. Yeah, the last that I got was from Newsweek and said suspicious occurrence, and the Secret Service had said that there was nothing recovered. But then there was a Daily Mail. Cops find explosives in car near Trump rally on Long Island after second assassination attempt. So this is confirmed. There were explosives there. Sources in the Nassau County Police Department, this is not linked in the description, by the way, allegedly told journalist James Lalino that the rally site perimeter was breached and a blue barrel was removed. In addition, during the canine sweep, they apparently found an explosive device in one of the vehicles. The sources allegedly said the driver ended up running in the woods. So they tried it again. This is going to keep fucking happening. And both me and the Quartering, by the way, at 1 p.m. I will be live with him, predicted that this would happen again. Less than 24 hours ago, actually. John Andrew, they'll keep trying his whole term to try and kill him. Yeah, and he's aware of it, but he's still going. Diz 5, second wave of explosive devices in Lebanon. Oh, there was a second wave of pager explosions? Yeah, apparently in Lebanon, among Hezbollah members, they were warned, don't use cell phones, they'll be tracked. So use pagers instead. And then the Israelis managed to get a bunch of pagers that were going to be shipped in from Taiwan, and they stuffed them with explosives. And then they detonated them pretty much at the same time and killed a bunch of people. Last speaking. Hey, Sticks, ping us. Also, pop rocks in the background. Yeah, this is a memento from the Hampton Beach trip, so I'm not going to eat these ones. But trust me, if I had to eat a sweet, pop rocks would be on the top of the list. I did eat one of them. Projectile pollen, that just means the plants are fucking. Yeah, exactly. All right, let's get to other news because it looks like the news cycle is exploding at the moment, but there are other things that we have to talk about. Peter Thiel, if the election is close, Kamala will win because they will cheat. I happen to agree with this. Now, I may not agree with everything that Peter Thiel stands for. But that being said, generally speaking, I'm on board with his ideology. He's not really a neocon. He's sort of a fusion between neocon and libertarian principles. So I kind of enjoy the latter more. And he's a big-time investor, a billionaire, multi-billionaire, I believe. He's on the order of Trump or something like that. I happen to agree with him. If the election is close, and right now, admittedly, in the polling, it is entirely possible that they will steal the election. If Trump pulls away, especially if he does agree to a second debate and he does a really good job and just slam a jam as Kamala Harris, there's really no chance of her pulling ahead. At that point, it would become unfeasible to explain to the American people why somebody who was well ahead in the polling suddenly lost. Keep in mind in 2016, Kamala Harris is doing about as well as Clinton was doing in 2016. And she's got plenty of room, by the way, for a gaffe. She just gave her first solo interview. It was predictably bullshit. But again, people will judge that based partially on their partisan ideology. So a Democrat will say, well, she did all right. Or a Republican will say, well, she fucking sucked. Well, it doesn't really matter. You're partisans. 90% of you have already figured out who you're going to vote for. So there's that. We'll get to the Pages story in a minute. Apparently, there's a second wave of explosions in Lebanon. I would like, if somebody could send me a DM on Twitter. I've got my DMs open if you've got that news story. Breaking 911, third assassination attempt. Authorities have reportedly discovered explosives in a vehicle near the site of a rally for former President Donald Trump on Long Island, just hours before he was scheduled to speak on Wednesday evening. Again, not a surprise. This was predicted. We'll probably be talking about this on the Quartering live stream. Yeah, Jesus. It's metastasized to all of the groups that I'm in and stuff like that. I'm part of the Rabies Awareness Gang, by the way. A very elite club of shitposters. An absurd existence. I have a bad feeling about the upcoming election. I have a good feeling about it. I think that it'll be fine. Last speak, and the one thing I would love to audio spam is the words plants fucking. Yeah, exactly. When plants fuck, it becomes a big problem for me because I'm allergic to certain kinds of pollen. Thankfully, this time of year, I'm not allergic to ragweed. That's the saving grace. I am allergic to pine pollen and dandelions. So around May or thereabouts, the pine trees start fucking each other, and the sperm is all over the place. And it becomes a real big problem because I can barely breathe sometimes. Ever eaten. I like the smell of pollen and I'm not allergic. I'm so lucky. I do like the way that it smells. It's just that once I smell it, then, my face swells up and I look like I've got edema or something like that. So we have a third assassination attempt of Donald Trump. I'll probably make a one-off video right after this live stream about that, as more details come in. But it does appear that someone did intend to harm him. Hezbollah is hit by a wave of exploding pagers that killed at least 9 people and injured thousands. Yes, mostly civilians. I can't imagine that all of those pagers went to members of Hezbollah. Israel decided, hey, we've got an idea. We're going to pack some minor explosives into pagers because Hezbollah is using them instead of cell phones, and we're going to have them shipped in by the Taiwanese. I don't know why Hezbollah would be buying from Taiwan, but that's beyond the point. And then they detonated them. I guess they send out a code and, the explosives in them detonate in little explosive packets, probably incendiary in nature, and killed a bunch of people, mostly Hezbollah agents. But I think there was a 9-year-old that's been docketed as actually having been at least injured. I'm not sure if she died. There was a 9-year-old girl that actually got injured or possibly killed, where, again, fog of war, we're not 100% sure. And you can't necessarily trust what you hear from either the IDF or Hezbollah. I'm going to take everything with a grain of salt. Just saying. Some people are saying there was a truck bomb or something like that at the Trump rally. Are you certain? I need more links. Fuck projectile pollen and stuff like that. I mean, it's interesting. I love science news. Breaking: law enforcement have reportedly found explosives in a car near the rally hours before Trump is set to speak. I need to know the nature of what this device or these devices was. Dylan Blyler, how many Harris staffers does it take to screw in a light bulb? None. They use gaslighting. Shout out to my chicken farmer bud, Richard William Harden. Grimvale, I've been needing the maximum dose of white pills lately. Well, Trump appears to have avoided a third assassination attempt as of today. I don't know how much more white pilled you can be. There's some occult protection around him. Sir Link, you have a good feeling, yet New York Times is already priming people that counting votes will take days in swing states. They will find votes. Explain optimism. Yeah, but defortification has happened in a number of states. So they can find votes in a couple of states if they want. It's not going to change anything. Spike 11117. The pager message read, "Enjoy the virgins." Yeah, you get 40 virgins in paradise or something like that. It's too bad that they're a bunch of incels. Have a good gay relationship, Apache, the Jews can explode my phone is something that I was called crazy for a year ago, but now it's a headline. Also, yes, there was a car with explosives. And Eddie A, Breaking 911, just tweeted out the reports are false. Okay, so there was not, I don't even know what's happening. This is breaking news. We're trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. So there was no explosive in the car, in the vehicle? I don't know what the fuck is going on. I've got my DMs open right now, and it's pretty rapid fire, actually. I'm doing the best that I can to keep up with the news cycle while talking about the other news. Anyways, let's go to our sponsors, though. And then we can keep up with the news that's rapidly going on right now. I'm going to try to give you breaking news here because apparently there are several big things happening. But I'm going to need people to send me links on Twitter DM mainly. I'm going to do the best that I can. Anyways, first and foremost, we have stickslikesmetals.com. I am a proud Gold Co. partner. You can buy physical gold and silver from them, or you can enroll over your investment portfolio, actually, into gold and silver. A+ rating by the Better Business Bureau. etc. I wouldn't be promoting the company if I didn't like them. They were very, very understanding with me and my tech illiteracy, which is hilarious because I'm a content creator. Gold and silver have been used for thousands of years as a form of currency. They're also used in utilitarian purposes, unlike fiat, paper money. And you can wipe your butt with it, do a few other things. Tinder a fire. Gold and silver are used in jewelry, they're used in electronics, etc. We have a rather unstable economy at the moment within the United States. So if you want to get invested, again, stickslikesmetals.com, they can set you up with a free investment package. So they can actually, they'll give you the information. There's no obligation whatsoever. They send you the investment package and you can decide, I want to invest, I don't want to invest. And maybe you invest, if you do, in an actual investment, or maybe you get physical gold or silver. Up to you completely. But I would tell my audience, I am invested with silver. I'm a silver stacker. I've got quite a bit of it, actually. I like it mainly for the aesthetic effect, but I know that if shit hits the fan, the economy just totally fucks off under the wheels of a bus, then I've got something of tangible value that I can actually trade for. So I can buy a can of beans or something like that. So again, stickslikesmetals.com. I am a partner with Gold Co. in full disclosure, and wouldn't be promoting them if I did not support the company. They're really nice people, actually. I've talked to a couple of them. Thought it was pretty great. We've got other sponsors as well for the channel. We've got cultivated-mind.com, where you can get mushroom extracts. Yes, indeed. How do you think that I get all of my high energy? God, I'm approaching 40 years old. How do you think that I act like I'm 25? There's probably a reason for that. Also, I talked about ashwagandha the other day, or what's it called? Ashwagandha. And this has ashwagandha extract in it. The new blend does not, because apparently Cultivated Mind could not actually find a source for it. We're hoping that that's restored soon. It seems to be highly neuroregenerative, so it's some pretty good shit. Pumpkinfirecrafts.us. You can get keychains, belt chains, engraved spoons, glassware, bookmarks, my personal favorite, and much, much more for the bibliophile in your life. Next time it's their birthday, get them a couple of bookmarks. Handmade, leather and metal, by the way, for all of their goods. We have BiltongUSA.com or AntonsUSA.com. The land of Biltong. Let Anton slide his meat down your throat. And it's really, really good, by the way. Carbonasi does sort of look like a, never mind. It's delicious, actually. You should get that. I would personally, I prefer the bison. It's fairly lean, but at the same time, it's not really like terribly chewy or anything like that. It's just really great. Use code STICKS, by the way, on all of these sites when prompted to do so. wickedneedleembroidery.bigcartel.com, where you can get Sticks, Hex, and Hammer hats. Several sizes and colors and designs are available there. I think I like the one that's centralized more, but I think other people, like the offset logo. So you can flash your Sticks, Hex, and Hammer hat. You'll be one of the cool kids. That's what I'm talking about. HeritageHeirloomSeedCompany.com, where you can get Sticks, Hex, and Hammer soap. It is with cedar, clove, and blueberry. Also, there's another kind of soap that's coming soon. I don't think it's available yet. It's got marjoram, lavender, and I can't remember the third ingredient in it, actually, at the moment. It's fantastic, but I don't think that it's available yet. You can also get a seed survival bucket from them, and you could probably do like an entire acre of crops with it, I think. It's quite a few seeds. websterswares.com/sticks-wares, where you can get Sticks, Hex, and Hammer branded knives, actually, which are exceptionally sharp. Be careful with them. Jackets, you can get straws, actual reusable straws, not the plastic kind, but made out of metal. Save a sea turtle. That way there will be one more for me to eat when I'm in New Orleans. That will be quite fun. There's also Trump paraphernalia on the site. And finally, jamandbean.com. That is JAMN bean.com, the land of the most delicious coffee that I have ever had. Costa Rica blend, currently the best. The Sticks blend that's forthcoming is even better, but it's not available yet. My apologies. There's also a lot of tea there available as well, herbal teas of various kinds. It's fucking delicious. So those are our sponsors. Now we'll talk about Elon Musk. How do I even get into this? I'm trying to figure out how to word this because it's just so fucking fucked up. Elon Musk made a post the other day. He took it down, in which he said, well, nobody's trying to kill Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. And it's like, that is fundamentally true. It's a true statement. And the insinuation is, of course, well, people are gunning for Trump. Apparently, we might have had a third assassination attempt. I'm not sure at the moment. But nobody is going after them. Now, when you remark on that, you're not saying that somebody should go after Kamala Harris. I don't want her assassinated, for example, much less would I want Biden assassinated, because then Kamala gets the incumbency. And that is fucking terrifying. It doesn't mean that you're encouraging someone to take a shot against Harris or Biden. It means that you're saying, I'm scratching my head here. Why is it that people keep trying to kill this one dude and nobody has taken a shot at these other individuals? I think that the insinuation was, hey, the legacy media is constantly calling Donald Trump Adolf Hitler, therefore radicalizing people, and that's the problem. He didn't quite follow through with it, and so had to take the post down, though. And it was, it was a good idea, I think, to take it down, ultimately. But then the legacy media comes out, and he had to know that they would do this. Say, oh, his inflationary rhetoric, his violent rhetoric. He's trying to get Kamala Harris killed. Oh, I mean, what would you say about Maxine Waters and her comments? Or all of the other dozens of comments with regards to Trump? He's a threat to democracy. He's a terrible person. Somebody should take him out and stuff like that we've heard from liberal politicians and commentators for literally years. It's been almost a decade at this point. 2016, I remember it like it was yesterday. But it's actually, at this point, ancient history. That was 8 fucking years ago. By the way, do you feel old yet? For those of you that are millennials, you probably remember it quite fondly. Crossover Maniac, I thought the occult power was trying to bind Trump, or at least that's what a bunch of Wiccans said. Wiccans don't understand the occult. They're just a bunch of tyros. Don't worry about the Wiccans. It's like fucking Lana Del Rey talking about the occult. Talking about her fucking candle magic or some bullshit like that. By the way, Last Beacon, please don't do the re thing. There's nothing better than having plants coming on you. Attempted assassination. That just goes to show you our media needs stricter guidelines. I don't think that. I just think we need to call them out. And we've got Amish Zaku. I turned the Ouroboros you use into a free 3D printable file that fits the most common size 3D printers and put it on MakerWorld. Link in your DMs. Looks great on my desk. Nice. Yes, I did see your message. Unfortunately, it got buried. And so if you bump that to the top, I'll be able to respond to you later with regards to that. Apparently, the police in Nassau are saying there were no explosives found. So I don't know what the fuck is happening right now. We may or may not have an additional attempt on Trump's life. If we all join in for a good re and normalize it, he will stop thinking he's cool for spamming it and stop. Oh, God. Twiggy, please don't bombard chat with like that. No, please don't do that. Ah, shit. Well, there goes my chat. Das Low Tractor. Ah, yes. The best thing to do, at least bad thing, isn't happening. Cue awkward Family Guy-esque transition to bad thing happening. Exactly. Let's see. Oh, yeah, there's a Fox News article. It's an opinion piece, so, you know, for what it's worth. Aurora's violent gang problem didn't happen overnight. More than 1,000 members of Venezuelan gangs are in the U.S., and it's all part of the Biden-Harris border crisis. This is true, by the way. Unfortunately, what has happened is, imagine 1,000,000 people come into your country, okay? 99% of them are perfectly peaceable. There's nothing wrong with them. They want to assimilate, they want to get a job, and they want to live in your country. They want to speak your language. They want to, they don't want any problems. Okay, but it's 1,000,000 people. That means that there are 1,000 people that are probably gang members, rapists, thugs, etc. The problem is that these people, having been from the same country, because we tend to ghettoize individuals, they literally build housing complexes for people who migrate into the United States. Okay, so you're compacting those people together. All you need are a couple of bad actors to spoil the whole. Basically, one rotten apple spoils the barrel. That gang member is going to intimidate other people, recruit them, etc., sell drugs, make a lot more money probably than the other people because the black market's a thing, and then you have a problem. And this has happened over and over and over again. This is not the first time that this has happened, by the way. Too bad the priest probably fucks kids, says Based Acid Fox. Yeah, probably. Yeah, statistically speaking, the priest, the teacher, yeah, they're probably into that shit. You just want to hear that beat the shit out of the priest song again. OMG puppies. I wonder if any pagers exploded in the Capitol. Oh boy, wouldn't that be something. Someone accidentally got the wrong shipment. Oh, fuck. We just killed a member of Congress. Well, that fucking sucks. Dave on Toast, powered by Dave Juice, TM. News coming in that Hezbollah walkie-talkies are blowing up. Yeah, no, we've talked about that. Yeah, they stuffed explosives into the pagers, and in coordination with, I guess, the nation of Taiwan, supposedly. And then they shipped them to Lebanon, and then Hezbollah members, got the little beepy ring and set off the explosive inside or something like that. Again, there's a lot of weird shit happening right now, and we're not always 100% sure. Like this explosive story. I don't know. Some people are confirming it as though it was objectively true, and some people are denying it outright, so I'm not exactly sure. Lord of the Ree, Sticks, did you have a chance to listen to my songs that I sent you on X? Working on an album, and my any kind of feedback is helpful. Clank. Bump it to the top. Again, you got to realize I get over 100 news tips every single day, plus general scuttlebutt. So it's very difficult for one person to keep up with that. Last Beacon really likes Twiggy. You should, by the way. Projectile pollen helps this flower edge out reproductive competition. Pollen blasts from Hypania macrantha flowers knock competitors pawing off hummingbirds' beaks. Yes, apparently there's a flower, and it sort of explodes with pollen when it's, the hummingbird comes in and does the hummingbird thing. And it will literally blast the pollen off of its beak, and so it can actually gain a little bit of a reproductive edge. To see if the projectile pollen blew away the competition, evolutionary ecologist Bruce Anderson and colleagues simulated hummingbird visits by poking a hummingbird's skull into flowers. They marked pollen with tiny fluorescent particles, then applied the fluorescent pollen to the part of the beak where pollen tends to accumulate. Next, they inserted the beak with its load of fluorescent pollen into a new set of male and female flowers and tracked where the marked and unmarked pollen particles ended up. The hummingbird beaks lost twice as much fluorescent pollen when poked into explosive males versus when stuck inside inert, already exploded flowers. Moreover, the more fluorescent pollen an explosion removed, the more successful that explosion was at depositing the flower's own pollen onto the beak. High-speed video showed that pollen grains from exploding flowers function like missiles to knock existing pollen away. This is more evidence of evolution. I think most people have accepted it at this point, but there are still some people out there that don't believe that evolution is a thing. This is pretty clear-cut evidence of evolution, because there'd be no other methodology by which this would actually exist. Oh God, last beacon. That gives me an idea. I'm not saying anything. Lord of the Ree, bumped it to the top. Any clanker who wants to check it out can go to Long Walks Music on Rumble. Cover of Angel of Death by Hank Williams. Coming soon. Long Walks Music. It's adequate. Twiggy little shit. And oh, Dave, when Styx decided to stop being gay, wait, I don't know if that happened. Ha! Twiggy is fucking hilarious. Yes, Scott Steiner, we have seen that news story, but it hasn't been confirmed. We're not 100% sure whether that's true or not. That's the problem. Dave on Toast, I should have said handheld radios. Yeah, Israel now blows up people's pagers. Anti-Illuminati, can't wait for you to come to NOLA. I literally live here. We need to go to the French Quarter if you haven't seen the great statue of Andrew Jackson. DM me on Twitter if you want to get together. Yeah. Take you to lunch or dinner or something like that. I do want to have a little bit of a get-together. It would be fun to meet a few clankers. I mean, it's a bit like a bigger city setting, so there's going to be like more people that are sort of aware of my existence in the general proximity. Like if you go to the middle of Wyoming, I'm sure there are plenty of Wyoming clankers, but they're going to be kind of remote now, aren't they? I don't want to have someone drive 2 hours just to hang out for an hour. 4 cat billies in a Virginia mountain shack. Or is AT&T still pissed at losing their monopoly on phones and pagers? Yeah, we're not exactly sure. Andrew Espinoza. Hey, Sticks, with the current crop of Dems, who do you think stands the best chance in 2028? I can't imagine Newsom with his latest ban on satire. He actually would be the top of the list. That's the sad part. Say him, not Hochul, I suppose. Whitmer, I suppose. Buttigieg. Those would be probably the big 3. Dust Thou Art, is the occult series finished? Oh, hell no. There's plenty more occult material coming. You just have to be a little bit patient. I've been doing so much fucking work, so many other things. I'm exhausted sometimes. So don't worry. There will be more occult works available soon. Lord of the Ree, Israel blew up their pagers, but do you think they got the message? Clank. Probably not. I mean, we're talking about Hezbollah. S.C. Woods, Andy Jackson, at least he got us Florida. 8hog, morning Sticks, recently started making my own yogurt and gotta say it's top notch. Have you tried it? In relation to the hummingbird story, don't forget they are technically theropod dinosaurs. Yeah, hummingbirds are pretty great. I haven't tried your yogurt, but I like yogurt in general, yeah. The best, water buffalo yogurt. I only got a chance to have it a couple of times when there was a water buffalo farm in Woodstock, Vermont when I was a little kid. And they went out of business, unfortunately. Their yogurt was quite expensive. But my God, was it smooth and amazing. It was great. King of Biltong. Biltong is one of the most protein-dense foods in the world, packed with B12, zinc, iron, creatine, and more. Need a healthy snack? Get yours at BiltongUSA.com. Sticks 10 for 10% off. Game now available. Yeah, they got the elk and venison back in, which is good. Especially, I don't know which one I liked more. Probably the venison, actually. Merritt Grimaldus, any spooky movie suggestions? Watch Ninth Gate. That would be my right. Or Human Centipede, I suppose. Ozzy's Robots, hey Sticks, schedule's been crazy and headed to Japan in a few weeks. How do voters stand a chance when turds like Ohio's Divine had unknown ties with Haiti? Because those ties get exposed. Yeah, this is the internet era. This isn't the pre-information era. Sigilstone, water buffalo yogurt? You mean cow cum? I make it with the milk, I guess, like regular yogurt, but it's really, really thick. And it had like a berry, I think it was blueberry, if I remember correctly. Oh my God, it was good. 3 metal beacon, likelihood of a third attempt, or is it no debate, no brass? It looks like we might have already had a third attempt. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck is going on at this point. It's news to me. Apache, where's the line between optimism and Q trust the plan? Sure, states to fortified, but they will still cheat. What happens when the election lasts a week? They will attempt it. The thing is that, and please send no more super chats because I'm going to keep it a little bit short today. I've got one more story to get to and a bunch of super chats here. But Trump is running ahead of where he was against Clinton. Not by a huge margin, but he did win in 2016. He's light years ahead of where he was in 2020. And you've got to realize Kamala has plenty of time still to screw up. Every time she goes in public, she risks doing so. Crossover Maniac, giraffe's laryngeal nerve proves life wasn't made in a one-time creation event or had its evolution guided by an intelligent designer. Interesting. Lord of the Ree. Ralph would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for those pesky Secret Service agents snooping us usual. S.C. Woods. There are two kinds of Democrats, Jacksonian and Wilsonian. One is sort of good, the other is totally evil. Sigil Stone. So it's thick, white, slightly salty. No saltiness, actually, at all. I know, I get your reference. Trust me, I understand the joke you're making. No, it was rather on the sweet side. Very thick, but very sweet. Like imagine goat cheese, but it's a yogurt, if that makes any sense. But it doesn't have the gaminess or the saltiness, actually. Last Beacon keeps saying cow cum. You're the most prosaic poster on Rumble. Aussie's Robots. Well, we find out political scams after the fact. True, but people have found out about some of the scams that are going on right now before the fact, which is good. JM, new round of explosions targeting walkie-talkies. Okay, apparently walkie-talkies are now blowing up in Hezbollah's hands. Oh, for the love of God. I imagine the quartering stream is going to be pretty lit. Yep, yeah, that is, yes, walkie-talkies are now being blown up by the Israelis. I guess they're trying to, get Hezbollah to not use any electronics at all. You can't use a pager, you can't use a walkie-talkie. If you use a cell phone, you get tracked, so, and then you get bombed. BW, fake horror is the best distraction from real horror. We are facing now that we are Venezuela. Also, why are they trying to delete Trump so hard? These people sent by the government because they think he will win? Yeah, they're afraid he'll win. That's the whole reason. If they thought that he would lose, and that it was like really sure that he would lose, do you think that they would be allowing so many people to take shots at him? We don't even know about this third. I mean, it's breaking news, basically. It's in the last couple of hours. I don't even know what the fuck is happening. Fishy Queefs. Hey, Sticks. Love your content. I bought a couple of bookmarks from you a while ago. Top-notch quality. Thank you. Christian Garabedian. DeSantis is opening a private investigation into the second Trump attack. You think they'll find the Department of Homeland Security involvement? Sadly, they'll get countermanded by federal agencies and get cock-blocked in actual discovery. So they're not going to find any meaningful information, but it is good that they're attempting to conduct an investigation. 4 cat billies in a Virginia mountains shack. Hey, Sticks, I'm 65 and I feel like I've gone back in time to the 60s, except now as an old man falling apart. Huh? Yeah, I know. It's a little bit like 68 as far as, you know, the Chicago convention, a bunch of protests. Although unfortunately, you don't really have like competent Democratic leadership. You have incompetent Democratic leadership. Rather sad. And now the Republicans are the ones that are being populistic. I mean, goddamn, I'm a millennial. Trust me, I sympathize. I can't understand it either. People are talking about decentralization over there. Yeah, everything should be decentralized. And then the final news story, I guess I'll have to docket the walkie-talkie story for later. And I don't know about the Trump explosives. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Apparently, 3 coffee cups a day or more is actually protective of your vascular system. Now, there was a study some time ago that echoed the same thing, but that one said that you had to like drink a shit ton of coffee in order to get the benefits. This is saying 3 cups a day, which is, you know, nothing major, and you have protection of your vascular system. It results in lower morbidity as a result of vascular conditions. I can believe it. And I have a theory about this. It's not really addressed in the paper, and it's not addressed in, as far as I know, any other study. When you drink caffeine, your heart rate increases, right? Thus simulating exercise. It increases your vascular capacity because your heart is simply having to work harder. It basically, it's like it's equivalent to jogging. I have no idea if this is true. It's just my own personal theory. And I like to drink coffee once in a while and energy drinks. I have a feeling that those have similar protective effects, although the artificial sweeteners in the sugar-free ones probably aren't very good for you. I drink the sugar-free variety, generally speaking. And if you're drinking the sugared variety, sugar is definitely not good for your body. Not in considerable amounts. The FDA really should lower the recommendation for the amount of sugar that a person should take in a day, by the way. Sigil. I heard Israel's next plan is to place explosives in all of Jordan's tin cans and string bundles to cut off Hezbollah's last lines of communication. Yeah, I mean, they're literally going to be doing like you know, when you're a little kid, you take a string and you tie it into 2 tin cans and you can sort of speak on the phone with your friend. You know, they're like 10 feet away or something. Yeah, I guess they'll probably target that next because that's the only thing they'll have left. The funny part is that might not be hyperbole. I would notice back in Vietnam, my dad was a sergeant in the Vietnam War. And he said people were very wary of taking, like, a kid would walk up and like offer you a soda or a can of something, and it would actually be a grenade or something like that. Why do I get the feeling that's probably the next step in this process? What side, Sticks? Well, I mean, he was a U.S. soldier. He was a Marine, so quite obvious. One of the youngest people actually to be recruited as a sergeant or promoted to sergeant in Marine Corps history, actually. Yeah, he was fairly decorated and everything. He doesn't like to talk about it much. I wonder fucking why. Now you're in Vietnam. You know, the war with drugs and exploding organs and stuff. I'm so surprised that you don't want to tell your life story over and over again. Damablez, have you seen inbreeding rates in the Middle East? It's wild. And in India, actually. Cousin Lovin is not frowned upon there. Zartu, third overlord of Blargon. What do you call 2 computer programs that aren't sure about the existence of God? Diagnostics. Oh, God. Yeah, no, my dad was in the U.S. Marines, and he's told me all sorts of crazy experiences that he had, but he doesn't really like to talk about it, like, to the full extent, and I can understand that because probably, I mean, he probably saw a friend splattered. He probably killed people. That can't be pleasant. Like, nobody wants to do that unless they're a psychopath, so, you know, I don't bother bringing it up. Sometimes he talks about it. Mostly, though, he talks about the food. He was stationed in Japan for a while, and so he just ramble about the food and how great it was and stuff like that. And also, I don't talk about it too much. Like I mean, it's his private business, so I'm not going to talk about it too much on here. So yeah, there was apparently another Lebanese attack. Exploding walkie-talkies injure more than 100 in new attacks across Lebanon. So, not a sloppy job, Mossad. On this one, I think you got your comeuppance. Last Beacon, can you please stop reeing? I know that you're a subscriber to the channel, but I mean, God. Sigil, I had a grandfather in World War II, best camp guard in all of Germany. He was an electrician. He had a helmet with 2 weird lightning bolts on it. I get the reference. By the way, I've seen one of those helmets. One of my friends in school, actually, I think this was 5th grade or something like that. He had an SS helmet, and he thought it was an electrician's helmet. He legit, I'm not fucking fooling you. He brought it into school, and the teacher didn't know either. And only years later did I realize, oh shit, I don't think that your grandparent was an electrician. I think that he was doing something else. It was an SS helmet. It had the 2 lightning bolts, the wolf's angle on it. And at the time, I was like, oh, cool. You know, he was an electrician in World War II. Yeah, maybe at a death camp or something like that. Twiggy is trying to encourage reeing. Oh my God. Sigil. Weird thing about my grandpa, though, he really didn't like the family that owned the deli. No, it was actually funny. Yeah, I think it was 4th or 5th grade, something like that. He brought in the helmet, and I thought it was like an electrician's helmet too. Because I mean, what else would you think when you're looking at the wolf's angle? Like, oh, it looks like a lightning bolt. Well, he worked on power lines or something like that, or maybe as an electrician for like vehicles or something like that. No, I think that he was a member of the SS. Either that or potentially he killed someone in the SS and he brought it back as a war trophy. Probably the latter, but it's still funny to think about the former. Not that the SS is particularly funny, but although the SS SA March remix is pretty funny. Mostly peaceful electrician. Yeah, I don't know. It could have been that he killed a Nazi soldier and took the helmet. That was fairly common, like banners and stuff like that. They were typically taken as war trophies. So I don't actually know that he was a Nazi, but the possibility remains. And this kid had no idea exactly what it was. So maybe like grandpa explained to him like, oh, no, this isn't from the dude I shot. No, this is an electrician's helmet from World War II. Isn't that cool? Yeah, he worked on electric lines and stuff like that. I don't know which one is the case, but it's a funny story anyway. BW, I bet that it was an awkward realization for him later. It reminds me of the old joke. Yeah, I can't read that out on a YouTube stream. I'm sorry. I think that would probably not go over well with the moderators. Fear the Coffin Man. As a former Marine, early 7s, thank the daily shoutouts. Semper Fidelis. Yes, Semper Fi. Thank you for your service. U.S. Marines, oorah, #1. Sith22, stop doing YouTube. Why? I'm having a great time. Got 4,000 people watching me, and, you know, I'm having fun. John Andrew, both my parents were in a concentration camp as political prisoners. My dad absolutely refused to talk about it and forbade the convo in the house. Had to be persistent with my mom, but she told me. Yeah, there are a lot of people. Imagine you go to war. Okay, so you establish camaraderie with, you know, a bunch of other dudes, and then half of them get vaporized. I can imagine that's a difficult conversation to have with your kids. Not exactly appropriate. Yeah, Semper Fi, that's what I'm talking about. As long as we got the Marines, we got something. The civilian militia plus the Marines could fuck any force in the planet. Sigil Stone, on the actual side, my mom's dad was a Marine in the Pacific Theater and was among the first boots into Japan after the bomb was dropped. He died before I was born, but we still have his green jacket. Yeah. You can get all sorts of military surplus sometimes, and it's pretty cool, actually. I've got a couple of pieces of military surplus. My dad, he doesn't have any of his stuff. Apparently, his brother stole it, if I remember correctly. I don't know. That's the allegation. So, I won't throw my uncle under the bus. I don't know if that's true, but that's the allegation. I can believe it. Just saying. Marines are the angry army the Navy totes around. Much respect to leathernecks. Crayon eaters, as they're colloquially called. Yeah, no, it's basically guard this fucking ship. Kill everything that moves. Have you seen footage of Marine Corps boot camp training? My dad had to go through that. I would be crying within 1 hour. And just saying, I'm not made of the same material as my father. Carpe Donctum, good to see you around. Good to see you as well. SC Woods, I only tell stories about Vietnam. There are plenty. USMC. Funny stories about Vietnam. Yeah, no, I've heard plenty of stories about the food. Apparently, they were taking Korean War era rations and cycling them into, and people preferred them over the sea rats that they were using in Vietnam. I can imagine. I did open one, I think it was from 1970, one Vietnam War era ration. It wasn't good even when it was first canned. I'm just going to say pork and lima beans doesn't sound like a great thing. The coffee, though, if you're in the Vietnam War, the coffee you got spoiled on. Because the instant type 2, I agree completely with Steve, 1980. I mean, 1980, I can't remember his username. Steve MRE Info. You know who he is, probably, if you're on this channel. I would agree with him that instant type 2 is the best. I think that they've discontinued it, though. It's like, okay, they discontinue the best coffee that they've ever developed, probably the best instant coffee in the world. They decide to get rid of the ratatouille, which I thought was delicious. They get rid of the vegetarian lasagna, but they keep menu 3 with the white chicken chunks? I don't understand. It's literally a war crime. I don't know. God, even if I was starving, I wouldn't eat menu 3. Like, maybe, like, if it has, like, jalapeno cheddar spread in it or something like that, you can eat that, and you can eat the crackers. But the main entree, no, just I guess you feed it to animals and then you eat the animals, something like that. I'm going to be eating high on the hog. Marines are there so Navy can throw aircraft at people. It is a little bit eccentric, yes. In Vietnam, if the Viet Cong didn't kill you, the MREs will. Yeah, I have never heard anything good about the sea rats. Yes, BW, I would love to read that joke out if I was only doing a Rumble exclusive. Again, I don't have a problem with these things, but the moderators on YouTube might. I've got to be careful. Yeah, Ubuk on MREs. The only problem that I have is that the British had basically perfected MREs, well, military rations in general. I don't think they use that acronym. Until recently. They've switched to the bagged system. Now, their old cardboard box system was much less efficient, not as safe, space-saving, certainly would weigh a bit more, but it was so tasty. But now they've changed up all the menus. By the way, I've still got that South African MRE from Anton that I've got to eat on camera at some point. That's what I'm talking about. I imagine there's some crazy shit in there. You should see Australian MREs. Vegemite, Musk Lifesavers. I hope that they still have the, I think it was called a CRM. I think that was the name of their military ration. I hope that they still have those because I want a couple more of them. Yeah, hold on. My pager is blowing up. Yeah, imagine that you accidentally ordered one of the pagers that had the explosive in it. And all of a sudden, somebody just blows up in the middle of Central Park or something, San Antonio. And you're like, oh, shit. Well, we fucked up. Green Grammy, my uncle was a Green Beret in Nam. He died a couple of years ago from cancer from Agent Orange, retired lieutenant colonel. Yeah, my condolences. Yeah, Agent Orange was not necessarily the best thing that the U.S. military ever did. Haitian MREs have edible crackers too, but a different kind. Yes, in Haiti, for a calcium supplement, sometimes small children will eat wafers that are made from mud. This is actually not a common experience for the average Haitian. That's been overblown somewhat, but they are eaten. They will eat them. Crossover Maniac, page 72 virgins. Sigil Stone, I ordered a delousing kit, but it came with wooden doors, and my birthday is tomorrow. Well, then happy early birthday. Yes, Vegemite is actually good. Here's the key, though. You don't want to use very much of it. It's basically salt. It's a yeast extract. It's the remnant from yeast extraction in the brewing process. And the Australians said, well, we're not suffering enough, so we're just going to extract, the yeast extract shit and turn it into a salty brine. A little bit goes a very, very long way. You do not even need anything close to a teaspoon for a slice of toast, or even 2 or 3 slices of toast. And Vegemite shelf life is, to my knowledge, pretty much indefinite because it's so briny. I don't think it can even rot. It's basically like chewing on rock salt. So again, I mean, if you like a little bit of saltiness on your toast, you just need a couple of little dabs. That's all you're going to need. That 1 can of Vegemite is going to last you for years. Trust me. It's not that it's bad or anything like that. It's just the first time that I used it, I used way too much because I'm figuring, oh, Vegemite, that sounds fun. Smear it on the piece of bread, spread it around. I bite into it and I'm like, oh shit. It's like I just took a salt shaker to the throat. That's basically how it tastes. Tai Ho Kwang, do you into garden homestead stuff and preserve food? Yes, lots of gardening and plenty of canning as well. Got a whole bunch of vegetables still out there. Want to have turnips sometime soon. In fact, I had a dream, I think, the other day where there was a big-ass turnip. I don't know. I can't remember whether it was a dream or not. It wasn't a dream? Okay, never mind. I'm just delusional at this point. I ate too much Vegemite. Yeah, don't even do a teaspoonful of Vegemite. Maybe half a teaspoon on a slice of bread. Yeah, segue into that. If you like salty foods, you'll like Vegemite. It's got a sort of an earthy, salty, can't quite explain it flavor. It is good. It's just, it's very, 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 very overwhelming. Pittsburghers are required by law to like Spam. I have never actually tried Spam. I always thought that the idea was like, ooh. Based Acid Fox, Americans are retards. Yeah, Vegemite is, yeah. I don't know how to classify the full flavor profile. Just say it's salty and earthy. It's got like a dark, salty flavor. It's sort of like drinking ocean water, only concentrated form. You need very, very little of it. But if you use very, very little, it's good. If I'm going to have toast, I want orange marmalade on it or strawberry jelly. Those are the 2 big things. I don't use Nutella. I don't really like grape jelly, actually, come to think of it. As a kid, I always preferred strawberry jelly, but it's got to be the real shit, like with chunks of actual strawberry in it. Spam is amazing as a canned meat. It lasts forever and it's packed with protein and salt. Yeah, I know. Yeah, 50 years later, you'll probably still be able to eat it. Sigil, the flavor profile of Vegemite is salted, unwiped asshole. I didn't know. It doesn't taste bad. It's just very, very, it's very concentrated. You might as well just put, I mean, it's hard to tell the undertone. I mean, it's almost like the roasted flavor of something like postum, but heavily salted, if that makes any sense. It's just literally the offshoot of the brewing process, and they said, well, we don't want to waste it because we're on Australia and everything wants to kill us, and we're going to run out of food because we can't go anywhere. Also, another one, if you can get a thimbleberry, anything thimbleberry related, oh, one of the best foods in the world. John Andrew, Vegemite is the equivalent of a large sandwich, but vegetarian. Yeah, except lard's not nearly as salty as Vegemite. Vegemite is an Aussie knockoff of English Marmite, which was invented to use the waste from making yeast. Yes, I'm aware of that. I haven't tried Marmite. I have a feeling they're basically the same. Jalapeno jelly? I wasn't aware that this even existed. Maybe. That'd be all right. I don't know. I like on toast. I'll just take butter. That's fine. Another thing, peanut butter with rosemary. If anyone has ever tried that, am I the only odd one here? When I was a kid, I put peanut butter and rosemary, dried rosemary, on a slice of toast, and I thought it was so great. I wonder if anyone else has actually had this experience. I'm just watching. Anyways, again, no more super chats. I'm just looking at chat briefly here. Wonder, has anyone else had that experience? Trust me, it's good. Peanut butter and mayo, says Angry Dad 1969. I'll skip out on that one. I don't even know what's happening. Apparently, no mayo grilled cheese. That's disgusting. I make a proper grilled cheese. We're going to be talking tomorrow. By the way, there is a battle going on right now. Before I go offline, there is a grilled cheese battle. There are people in this world, and I hate to tell you that this is a thing, that believe that mayonnaise should be used on the outside of the grilled cheese sandwich in order to basically, you crisp it up, I guess. I make a proper grilled cheese caprese. I will be talking about this tomorrow. We are at war, clankers. We are at war with the mayonnaise grilled cheese people. I don't know how this arose. I don't understand who got the idea. But we're going to be drawing lines. Yeah, absolutely. Butter over mayo, says Braille Hologram. Thank you very much. Mayonnaise is disgusting. Butter, yes. That's how I do it. All you need to do, put butter in the pan. You start grilling it. You have cheese inside, basil, preferably fresh. Dried is okay. De-seeded tomatoes. You don't want to use them with the seeds because then it'll waterlog the sandwich. And as long as you crisp it on the outside, you've got the perfect grilled cheese caprese. You don't need mayonnaise. You don't use American cheese. You use mozzarella mixed with Munster. That's the perfect way to do it. Sigil, grilled cheese sandwiches are just fucking gross anyway. Yeah, I said it. Okay, now you're even more of a heretic. No, you use butter. I mean, you can cook it in olive oil if you really want to. I mean, if you run out of butter, but butter is the way to go. You don't need a huge amount, but, you need some butter. Roast the bread. Cheese goes inside, along with the basil. Again, fresh or dried, it doesn't really matter. And then you have the de-seeded tomatoes. Those are optional. I mean, if you're not really into that, you don't have to. And you need to use lots of cheese. Mayo on the inside, says Thunder Goat. Oh my God. I always make grilled cheese with Munster. Or there's a French version It's basically the same thing, but under European food labeling laws, you're not allowed to use the same term. It's called Port Salut. It's basically Munster. It's a little bit on the softer side, though. It melts really nicely, though. And then you add some mozzarella. That's all you need. And then you make a tomato basil soup. Yeah. BW, one more, please. Turn Marionberry jam. I've had it, actually. It is good. It is so good. I thought Marionberry was just the guy who used to be mayor of Atlanta, but no, it's an actual berry. Yeah. I'm wondering if he was named after the actual berry. Crossover Maniac, best grilled cheese sandwich has lobster meat. No. God, I've got to invite people to a grilled cheese cook-off or something like that. We'll have a contest. We'll have a clanker contest for grilled cheese. Mackerel and peanut butter. Oh my God. I'm seeing so many bizarre sandwich recipes right now that, yeah, I'm confused. How does this world exist? God has forsaken us. Cooking with sticks, new channel idea. I do want to do some cooking videos. I've thought about writing a cookbook, actually. I did inherit the chef gene from my dad, and my mom cooks. My grandfather used to be a big one for making soups. He'd make gazpacho all the time and stuff like that. I made a good gazpacho one time. The Emperor's Champion. Hail Emperor Trump and his fabricator, General Elon Musk. The Emperor protects. All right, I'm going to go offline now. I've had a great deal of fun with over 4,000 people, but people now have devolved into talking about how mayonnaise goes on everything and Miracle Whip and cheese and coconut oil, frying pan bread, dank. Oh, my God. Well, either everyone is hungry or everyone is now bulimic, actually. It depends on your take on the recipes, but I will be getting into the grilled cheese war tomorrow because I saw an article that pissed me off because they were fundamentally wrong. So that's about all. I'll be back tomorrow. And remember, 1 p.m., I'm live with the quartering. That's about all. Peace out.